Hello everybody, it's Milo here, and we are doing a cube draft on the Magic Onlines. Pick one, pack one. We have an Ulamog, a Baleful Strix, and maybe a Lutero Core. Or I guess a Chain Lightning is pretty good. But I think that the pick is probably Ulamog. As much as I like Baleful Strix, Ulamog at least makes it so that we could do some silly things with our deck if the right cards come around. And it's not so bad to get into it early. Next pick here, also pretty easy. I mean, I like Lingering Souls and Necromancy, but Batterskull leaves us very open. We can still play pretty much any deck. Batterskull will make the cut. I also want to mention that I'm not recording this audio live. I'm recording the audio after the fact. And that's because I don't like to talk by myself when I play Magic. It'll just be me questioning myself constantly. And who wants to see that? Maybe you do. Who knows? Alright. Now we have pack 3. Our options are Ravages of War, Shriekmaw. If we wanted to go for a green ramp into Ulamog deck, we could go Sylvan Caryatid. Or the blue-red Filterland seems good too. You can see that I highlighted it. Now, the reason why I did that, I mean, we don't have any blue or red cards, but that leaves us open to either getting a Show and Tell or a Sneak Attack, and playing the other color, or splashing for one of those two. So that's why I did it, you know, and I do what I want. Also, people have been on my case about not picking non-basics highly enough, so, you know, whatever. Doing it. This is a dry pack. The best cards are Tropical Island, the Black-Blue Manland, or a Flooded Strand. Those are our best cards. We don't really want to play any of the other things, so I figure that a fetch land is probably better when you don't really know what you're going to play. I could take a Tinker here, just in case I get a Blightsteel. We could end up playing some sort of we could get in if we're playing something where we're tricking dudes in. Tinker seems like a right call. Lightning Bolt is the second pick here, but it seems like the sort of thing we want to do on camera, right? We want to trick big things into play. Close out games really quickly with Ulamogs. Maybe we could pick up a Blightsteel. Maybe we could pick up Inkwell Leviathan. Nothing really for us here. This plan might be going south. Kind of wish I was in that red deck. But we could just take a Reflecting Pool. That way, even if we don't have the blue or the red to activate, the blue-red filter land, we can use the Reflecting Pool to activate the blue-red filter land. I think that works. That should work. Okay, so we have an Is It Charm, a Wrath of God, and then some aggressive cards. I really don't like this blue-white creature, this third pick here, or the third card on screen there. The Hussar. Hussar. We took a Wrath of God. If we're playing a slow, control-y deck, we're probably going to want Wraths. Like I said, if we're playing a slow, control-y deck, we're probably going to want Wraths. So 2 picks in a row, Wraths. All of a sudden we're playing white. And that Flooded Strand is going to help us out a little bit. Take a Brimstone Volley, nothing else for us really. If we end up blue-red, it's just a removal spell. So, if you take a look at our picks here, you can see that there's absolutely no rhyme or reason to anything. This thing is a bit of a train wreck. We have no idea where we're going. But we got a Delver or a Counterspell. And we're going to go ahead and take that Counterspell, I think. So we have a green-white shock or just another removal spell. We'll take the removal spell. It's good against aggro. Being able to deal with their turn 1 Stormkirk, Noble, Goblin Guide, Fire Drinker Satyr. Turnabout is not something I would ever play. Gorehouse Chainwalker is definitely something I would play in an aggressive deck. And I'm kind of considering maybe switching into something more aggressive. I took the red-white Painland, and then I take the... Pretty sure I take the green-blue Bounce Land. Just taking a lot of non-basics here because I clearly have no idea what this deck's about or what I'm doing. So I want to stay as open as possible because I'm going to need to. Our deck begins to take shape here with this pick. And definitely picking up cards that I am for sure going to play at this point. Because right now, I don't. The only playables I have are non-basic lands. I need 27 playables, and we're into pack 2. And so I highlight the Geist of St. Traff because that way I can play my Wraths, I can play a counter spell. I'm still open to playing a Tinker if the right cards come around, playing the Batterskull. I think this makes it so that I can play a lot of my picks by taking a Geist. I can't really play the red stuff yet, but who knows, maybe I'll play 3 colors. I don't know, what would you take here? Would you take Jace? I don't really like Jace. We got a Brimaz, got an Exalted Angel, goes with our white cards, goes with our Geist. Teferi's a little heavy blue for the amount of mana fixing that I have available to me. I might be playing a lot of colors, so I don't want to play something that's triple blue just yet. There's also a counterspell. Just worth thinking about. We have a really bad black-blue fetch line. We have Goblin Welder, but we're not really seeing a lot of artifacts, so probably not playing that Tinker anymore, unless things get pretty crazy. Non-basic land walk seems okay. We're not in green. The only color we're not in. No, we're not in black either. Take a god. Why not? When you're drafted train wreck, maybe the best thing to do is to side yourself with a god and hope everything goes okay. So we have a white-blue filter land. Seems exactly like what we're in the need of. We have an Emrakul. This plan has gone out the window. We're not going to take that. But Videlkin Shackles is just generally awesome. I mean, I like Gideon as well, but I think the Shackles is even better. If they don't have a way to deal with it, Shackles could just really take over a game. It's one of those cards they have to answer immediately. And then we have a Recurring Nightmare and a Kozilek. So I don't know if this deck is open or not, or maybe, I don't even know if Show and Tell or Sneak Attack are in this cube. Recurring Nightmare, though, is too good to pass up. We have tons of things, tons of ways to splash. Not really black, but you know what? Whatever, man. Recurring Nightmare is such a big bomb, you don't ever want to pass it. We have enough green-blue fixing that we could probably get away with splashing that if we need to. I know what you're thinking. This is a bit of a train wreck, but don't worry, we'll get there. We have lots of fixing. We should take more fixing, though, because we're very ambitious. Dungeon Guy seems like a fine card. I personally really do not like Pristine Angel. It was in my cube for a long time. Exalted Angel is way better. Pristine Angel just takes so much work to keep it on board. Like the game becomes all about protecting your Pristine Angel and like not attacking when you want to attack. It's just Pristine Angel makes everything so complicated. We're cutting the red because we might not need to cut the red because we're picking up black-red duels, maybe a capsize. Alright, capsize it is. And we have another black-white duel or a Figure of Destiny. I have 0 1-drops and... oh, more fixing, why not? Stunted Growth, which is not bad, but momentary blinks in our colors. I mean, what isn't, am I right? And we don't have any synergies with it now, but we might. And we get rewarded with a Karn. Karn is just good. And a game with a deck that's running double Wraths, you know, I feel like can maybe make some time so that it allows you to get to Karn. I mean, it definitely helps to ramp into him, but 7 isn't unreasonable. So we have a Jace, Architect of Thought, Mirrodin Crusader. Nope, probably not playing that. We've got a Maze of Ith, which is exactly what this deck needs, and a Spellskite. We're going to go with the Maze of Ith, only because we really need to slow down our opponents while we get to Karn territory. Ooh, a Venser, a Silverblade Paladin, Scalding Tarn. I think Venser is definitely the way to go. Works with our Momentary Blink. And we have, ooh, Restoration Angel. That's great with a Venser. And it's just good on its own. Now we're finally getting... oh, wow. Sword of Temptation. We're finally getting some really good white-blue stuff. But that Ancient Tomb is really nice. Ugh. Helps us get to Karn. Helps us get to an earlier Wrath if we need it. But we can't afford it. We need to start picking non-land cards. We need... we need plays. We're not casting our 11 drops. Probably not playing Momentary Blink. Hopefully not having to play Recurring Nightmare. We have like very few synergies. Oh, Videlian Click is definitely a card that we wanted to see. So lucky that we get it this late. That's crazy. We need win conditions like the Click, and Exalted Angel is amazing. Karn. These are all really great things. Ooh, more fixing with a Mox Diamond. Definitely. We get a Eureka. That's just a joke, really. The one thing that we see that lets us trick cards into play is a green card. And double green, no less. Another great blue creature. I mean, we have a Forbidden a Daze, which are nice, but we're looking for creatures. We're looking for ways to end games. And Phantasmal Image is definitely one of those. Tons of fixing in this MTGO cube. I wonder if they just added a bunch of fixing or if people are just not valuing it very high. Got a Scroll Rack, a Coral Helm Commander, this 1 and 2 white thing, Spear of Helioid. We have a fetch land. I guess we could play Scroll Rack. Probably not going to want to play Scroll Rack. Doesn't seem like the worst. It lets us dig for a Wrath for 1 turn, right? But if we can't shuffle our deck, it's not so good. Oh, and the Maze of Ith came back to us. Are you kidding me? We might need to board in a Savannah line against an aggressive deck just to have some speed bumps. And who knows, we might have to play it. 11 creatures isn't a lot. We could take the other morph with the Void Mage Prodigy, just because then they won't know which of the two morphs is which. But we'll take the Savannah Lane, Apocryphite. Ancient Tomb came back to us. That's crazy. As much as I want that Wake Thrasher, which is also very, very good, we need to take that Ancient Tomb. We can now get Karn out quickly. We can, and last pick, Future Sight is more. I'm more than happy to play Future Sight and Thassa in the same deck. Seems good to me. We don't have a lot of white, and the white that we do have is double white. Which might be a problem, but we've got the fixing. We've got all the fixing is under control. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Definitely playing these. The click. We've got a Jace. Lots of things to slow down our opponents, and we've got some win conditions. And really, do you need anything else in Magic? We've got a Batterskull and Wraths. And counter spells and Future Sight. I love Future Sight. Like, a lot of people don't really like it, but it's definitely a card for me. We count Maze of Ith as a card, not land, and then we're gonna run it out like this. Because of the amount of fixing that we have, plus a Mox Diamond, plus we're playing that Prism, the Pentad Prism. And we have things like Thassa to Scry. We have an Ancient Tomb that adds 2 mana. We're only going to play 16 lands. I know that seems crazy, but we're playing 17 lands, including Maze of Ith, but we're playing actually 16 lands because Maze of Ith is not a land. So we're going to go into Game 1. We're just going to go straight into Game 1. One video, all the action you need, right here. Milo the Great One, the MTG Cube channel. It's my new branding thing that I do. What do you think? So we won the die roll. Should we play first? Meh, I don't know. I'm having a hard time deciding if I should play first or not. Boom. Boy, will this confuse my opponent. Turn 1 Figure of Destiny. Seems pretty aggressive. We do need to draw at least one more land, but not a bad start. And it will maybe force our opponent to backpedal a little bit. Who knows? Might have removal for a figure. And you know what? That's okay. We are definitely okay with playing a slower game. Stormkirk Noble. Luckily, the Figure of Destiny is a Kithkin. So it can definitely block. Oh, we draw our land. I'm pumping this turn. Because he can't respond to it. If I wait for him to untap, I'm going to want to... I didn't pump. See, that was silly. I'm leaving up counter mana, but I think the right thing to do is pump there, because we don't want them to respond to pumping, but there's very few spells that deal 1 damage anyway. So I guess it's pretty safe. Now we're going to pump end of turn. He can't run his Stormkirk Noble into us. And the speed bump was successful. Oh, we got Pentad Prism, that's pretty good. We can waste a turn getting to turn 5 next turn, but meh. We'll just put the pressure on. He can't target the Geist, and the Geist isn't a human, so it can block the Stormkirk Noble, so we might as well just attack for 2. Did you guys see that sweet new art for Geist of St. Traft for the World Magic Cup qualifiers participation promo? I think it's great. I can't wait to get one of those for my cube. I'm lucky because I qualified for the WMCQ, so I'll be able to pick one of those up when I play it August 17th. I do have to build a standard deck, a real standard deck. I have like a red standard deck right now, but it's not good enough. I should have built like a white-blue or black-white or mono-black. I don't know what's good anymore. If you have any suggestions for standard decks for me to play, please leave them in the comments, because I want to play something really good, is what I'm looking for. Something that has a shot. He doesn't attack with the Chandra's Phoenix, and he doesn't know how lucky we are to have drawn 2 lands in a row, because this turn we are going to be casting Sword of Temptation and attacking for literally a bazillion damage. Literally a bazillion, you guys. Because it has haste, and now we can attack with our Geist. And this Kifkin goes in. Everybody goes in. They're all going in forever and ever. 3 guys. Plus an angel. Oh boy, oh boy. If I was him, I would take 10. I don't know, maybe you block the Geist? I don't know. It seems really bad. He doesn't have a lot of options. Even if he deals with the Sword of Temptation, his Chandra's Phoenix is going to be tapped, so I can attack again. Alright, is he stopping us from pumping our Figure of Destiny? It seems like he probably just shouldn't have shown us Pithing Needle, because we have a lot of stuff that Pithing Needle actually affects. Vidalcan Shackles, our Planeswalkers. I guess even Thassa, if it comes to it, like, and he doesn't want us making our guys unblockable. Mazaveth. Or you could just say island, and I can't tap my islands from blue mana anymore. That would be pretty good. Nah, Pithing Needle doesn't work like that. Did I get ya? Did I get ya? He names Geist of St. Traft. Does nothing. So now I don't know if he's bad or if he's just frustrated. I guess he could hope that we block the Hell's Thunder with the Sword of Temptation. We are 100% not going to do that. Seems not so good. And this way, we'll be able to deal a sweet, sweet 8 damage Xaxes for the win and the game. Don't show him the maze. Don't show him the maze. I can't remember if I showed him the maze or not. Oh, nice one. Nice. Go in with the team. And he still doesn't block with the Stormcloak Noble. It's not really his fault. He didn't have a lot of plays. His deck, who knows? Maybe he didn't even see a second color. He should have been taking that Vixen higher, am I right? And then he would have been fixing to beat me down. I don't know. I have no idea. Alright, what do we put in? I guess we could put in Apocryphite and Savannah Lions and take out Thassa. Take out the do-nothings, Thassa and Future Sight, because he does have the ability to just run us over. And we want to make sure that doesn't happen. We are heading over to Game 2 and Match 1. Very exciting stuff. Alright, so we have 3 islands, a Maze of Ith, a Vidalcan Shackles. We are keeping this hand. We even have Apocryphite on turn 2 to slow him down. It's a good hand. It's a good hand against aggro. I mean, that Pissing Needle's a lot better against us than he may think, and hopefully he boards it out. Spike Shot Elder is a good one. It kills Apocryphite, it kills Savannah Lanes, but if that's what he's using his mana to do, then maybe it's okay. Maybe it's fine. We don't play Maze of Ith right away, because we don't need to. It's way better to start building mana. Too bad we can't build mana like that. That's some sweet mana building. So I think we go ahead and run out the Apocryphite. I think it's okay to do that. Ooh, white. If we draw another white source, we can play Brimaz next turn. That would be sweet. I'm okay running Apocryphite out, even though I'm sure he'll have another mountain and be able to kill it with Spike Shot Elder. Because Apocryphite will come back eventually as a 4/4, and that's fine. Plus, he'll waste an entire turn to kill it. And instead of playing other spells, I'm okay with that too. So instead he plays this. Seems good. Makes me wish I played that Maze of Ith, because Maze of Ith is great against spells like that. But again, if I didn't play Maze of Ith, or if I did play Maze of Ith, he wouldn't have played that card, so... Tough to think like that. Alright, we have a Geist. It's not bad. We should probably play the Geist. He can't target it. And then we could also get a little bit aggressive, because we would block his Spike Shot with the Geist if he attacked into it. And we still don't know if he's actually like a good player or not. He might attack with Spike Shot thinking he could deal 1 damage to Geist. Who knows? Who knows? He has enough mana to unearth Hell's Thunder. Sounds like a motorcycle gang. Ooh, Ash Zealot is a good one. Stops our Geist. And we can't block it with our Geist, so... Matters how much he... values his life total. So this turn we can play Maze of Ith and Vidalcan Shackles, so that next turn we can take that Ash Zealot and start swinging in with everybody. Let's see what happens. I have no idea. 3 cards in hand to my 4. He draws at the beginning of his turn, as is tradition. Uh-oh. So if you were in his position, which would you choose? Maze of Ith or Vidalcan Shackles? If I was in his position, I would choose Grim Monolith. Because he wants to untap that anyway. I think you have to choose Vidalcan Shackles. Because if you choose Maze of Ith, I can start... like, Vidalcan Shackles against him is like a better Maze of Ith. Like, I can use it aggressively or defensively. He doesn't know I have a 3rd island. He might think I only have 2 islands, but it still takes both of the creatures he has in play. And it would take that guy. So he can't swing in yet, but next turn he can start the beats. Hopefully we draw a white source and we can play a Brimaz. Nope. I don't play the Savannah Lions because it's just going to get shot down by that Spike Shot Elder. And that's not the game we're playing yet. I want to see what else is in his hand. Plus just one more land we get to play Batterskull. It's a great draw. I mean, a land would have been good too, but Batterskull also a good draw. So he's finally tapping that Grim Monolith in his mono red deck. Let's see what it can do. Is Grim Monolith that good that you just played in any deck? Like, I think that mono red might be the worst deck for that card. Playing it on turn 2, I mean, you've got so many other things you want to play on turn 2. So he's got 4 in the pool, 3 in the pool, nah, 4 in the pool, 5 in the pool. Oh, it's a Chargers Phoenix. So 2 in the pool. He's a Spike Shot Elder. So basically, you use Grim Monolith for 2 mana instead of 3? Well, I guess it's okay. Shoot down the Apocryphite. Oh, he'll be back. Don't you worry. Well, we'll see. Maybe he'll kill me before that. Before that happens. I mean, this entire video is my full draft, and it's about an hour and a half long, so who knows how many games I end up playing. Could be just this one match. I don't think it's right to block with the Geist yet, because he still isn't attacking with the Ash Zealot, which is kind of crazy. If I was him, I probably would be attacking with maybe just the Ash Zealot, and the next turn maybe the team. But it's Batterskull time. This should surely win me this game. There is no way he could possibly get around a Batterskull. Nope, no way at all. 4 red mana? How do you get rid of a Batterskull? Impossible. Manic Vandal, Torch Fiend. Shh. Or a Chaos Warp. I have never seen this card played before. And instead I just reveal to him that I have a route coming next turn, which is terrible for me. I need white mana to cast the route. I mean, the route would be great if I could cast it. Need a Pentad Prism. Or a Plains. See, this turn for sure I'd be attacking with the Ash Zealot, and yeah, definitely attacking with the Ash Zealot this turn. If he did that, I would block the Fire Drinker Satyr with the Geist. I would not want to go to 7 when he has Spike Shot up and 3 other creatures, and I know I don't have another white coming. Especially if he knows that I'm going to have to Wrath soon, like that I have the Wrath and it's coming if he doesn't kill me before I draw another white source. Seems crazy. I play the Savannah Lion because I don't want to die this turn, and if he's spending mana and killing Savannah Lion, then he's not killing me with his unearthed 4/4 flyer. This game is actually pretty tight. I'm at the point now where I could lose to almost anything. And he still is not attacking me with the Ash Zealot. It is crazy. I feel like he probably could have won by now if he was attacking me with the Ash Zealot. Like, he's that afraid of the Geist. Seems unreasonable. He was at 19. I mean, you might even think that I blocked too early. I should have waited another turn, but red can do so many things. It has Fire Blast. It has... Apocryphite is coming into play this turn, which is good. Oh, and I draw the Batterskull again. How lucky. Not going to even bother attacking. We're not risking anything. Got the Maze to deal with the Chandra's Phoenix. We have Batterskull, and we're going to slowly start gaining some life. See, cards like that, those are the cards that can just kill me outright. I take 2 damage for each non-basic land I control 2 non-basic lands, so I take 4 damage. You can deal 1 more with Spikeshot Elder, and he would have dealt me an additional 4 damage, at the very least, if he was attacking me with Ash Zealot every turn. Plays a 2/2 for 3, basically a Grey Ogre. I'm not gonna play the Pentad Prism. I mean, I feel like I'm kind of ahead. Not really ahead, but I'm gonna gain some life here. It has Vigilance. He blocks at 2 guys, so I'm up to 9. My Germ is dead, but I can just equip the Batterskull to my Apocryphite. If I do that, and he has Zealous Conscripts, then I take 3, 4, 5, 6, untapping the Apocryphite. So I don't lose, and then next turn I attack for 8. And I go up to 17. Or sorry, I take 6, I'd go to 3. Gain 8, go to 11. Yeah, it seems fine. He's got no cards in his hand. I'm going to gain 8 unless what he could do is block with Ash Zealot and deal 2 damage to it with Spikeshot Elder before damage, killing it. So that's at least 2 turns he has of ways to make it so that I don't gain life. Which is, I think, his only play, and hope for... Oh, I'm at 17. This game is probably out of reach for him. We're going to play the Pentad Prism. Might as well. Next turn we can play Karn. Yep, there's pretty much nothing he can do at this point. Goblin Guide. Once a blue-white control player starts gaining life against mono-red aggro, the game becomes out of reach. For the aggro player, maybe that's just me, but kind of how I see it. We're going to go ahead and gain 8 life, play a Karn. Probably get rid of that Pithing Needle and try to close up the game as quickly as possible with Duncan Shackles. We can't use the Vidalcan Shackles this turn, but I'm at 25. I'm not too worried. He's got no cards. Okay, he just concedes. So that's it. Match 1 is in the books. We did it. We're going straight to match 2. I lost the die roll. Oh boy. This is a keepable hand. We have enough mana to play 3 of our 4 cards. We have a god, we have a planeswalker, we have their creature, we have a way to kill all creatures. This is a great hand. This is a really good control deck hand. We drew the second white for our Wrath. That's amazing. Chose to lead with a plains, not sure why. Maybe I'm trying to make him afraid of Manatithe. Or Swords to Plowshares, or Path to Exile. I could play the Bounce Land, but then I would be leaving myself open to Wasteland, and it would be a brutal hit if I got Wastelanded there. We did see one in the draft. I know I'm recording this audio post, so when I say, "Oh, I better watch out for this," it's kind of cheating, but we're gonna cast that one face down. So he turboed out a Sorin Lord of Innistrad. I'm hoping to flip it and rip it with my Exalted Angel. We'll find out if that's in the cards. Oh, how lucky! Miracle Entreat the Angels after turn 3 Sorin Lord of Innistrad. That's okay. That's okay. Oh boy. I don't know if our hero's gonna be able to get out of this one, you guys. Actually, I do know what happens, because I played this earlier. But you know what? Just between... Oh, he has the Wasteland, too. Remember when I was like, watch out for that Wasteland? But that's literally why I did not play that card. I knew that a Wasteland could be in this person's deck. So the dream here is that he attacks with both angels. I flip the Exalted Angel, kill an angel, basically take no damage. Next turn, Sword of Temptation, take the birds, hit Sorin for 4 damage. Because I could eventually start nullifying all of his 1/1s with Jace, Architect of Thought. Next turn, his Sorin goes ultimate, and he takes my Exalted Angel. And that might not be a bad thing. So now I'm thinking, since he played that, there's no way really for me to kill that Sorin. What I can do is attack. He blocks with probably Birds of Paradise. I play out the Wasteland, and that was really dumb. Or I play out the Maze of Ith, and that was really dumb because you can just Wasteland it. That's a mistake. I'll be the first to admit that. So I try to attack Sorin, and then hopefully he blocks the Birds of Paradise, and then on his turn, for whatever reason, ultimates, takes my Exalted Angel, and then I can Wrath of God. That would be best case scenario. It still leaves him with the 3/4 land, but then I'll be able to play Thassa or Jace, and then in next turn Kiora and target the land. I don't know, what do you think of that play? Do you think that play was okay? Or maybe I should just... Probably not Wrath now. That would be silly. Or maybe I should do more to force him to ultimate Sorin. Like, I could play... the Sower and force him to ultimate Sorin. It's important to note that he won't be able to target Thassa as it's not a creature, and even if Thassa was a creature, he wouldn't be able to destroy it and take control of it because it's indestructible. And that's what the card does. That's what Sorin does, I believe. Destroy up to 3 creatures and or planeswalkers and gain control of them if they were destroyed in this way this turn. So he does it. He pops his Sorin, he ultimates Sorin, takes my Exalted Angel, animates his land, attacks me for 75 million damage, doesn't kill me. For some reason he doesn't wasteland the Maze of Ith. I don't know. I don't know why he didn't do that. But I take a bunch. I get to scry. I don't really need that. I'm not really accelerating into anything. Probably play this Wrath of God and then bounce a land and play out the green-blue land. And if you'd rather wasteland that, so be it. I won't be able to cast Kiora, but I'll still keep my Maze of Ith. And right now Maze of Ith is pretty sweet against his manland. So he does it. He wants to get rid of my mana for whatever reason. Braids, eh? So I guess that's why he got rid of my land. My green-blue land instead of the Maze of Ith. Because now I'm stuck on 3 mana. What would you sacrifice here? I was trying to sacrifice Thassa, but I couldn't. Because it's not an artifact, creature, or land. I should probably... Ugh, this is tough. I end up going with the plains. Maybe should have went with an island, but I have 2 double blue cards in my hand. We have Shackles, so the dream here is to untap, gain control of Braids, sack Braids. Let's see what he sacks. Hopefully he sacks Braids. prevents us from doing the Vidalcan Shackles trick. Oh, he lets us do it. For whatever reason. Oh, he's got a deranged hermit. Not bad. Pretty good with braids. He's going to pass the turn. And we are going to get control of braids and sack braids. Oh, no! Oh! No! No! Why did it work like that? I did not want to sack my shackles. Just wanted to get control of his braids. That's all I wanted. We are going to put the Mox Diamond on top, because that will allow us to cast the Sower of Temptation this turn, and Kiora next turn, if that's what we want to do. But we're probably going to want to cast Jace next turn. That stung. Not what I wanted to do. We definitely need to gain control of braids at this point. It is getting out of control. Things are getting out of hand. He's got no cards in hand, so hopefully he doesn't draw an answer to what we're about to do. And then if we play Jace next turn, we have Devotion to Thassa. So he is sacrificing Deranged Hermit to Braids. Seems fine. That means that as long as he doesn't draw Reanimation for the Deranged Hermit, our Jace Architect of Thought will be giving -1, -0 to all of these squirrels. We will sack Braids. We'll put that Reflecting Pool on the top, just because Mana's pretty good for us right now. I forget about his manland, so I go in. I forget that it has reach. I thought it was just a 3/4. Why does it have to have reach? So I attack it in with my 2/2 flyer. And I do this really awkward thing now, where I have to Mazavith my own flyer, so that my Thassa will stay a 5/5. He plays a Gideon. That's okay. Pumps Gideon, then we can kill Gideon. By making both of our creatures unblockable and just attack Gideon for 7. He just fogs for a turn with that Planeswalker. We put the Geist on the bottom. I mean, we can make it unblockable and swing in with it every turn, but there's better cards in the deck that we want to draw. And we're probably going to want to get some lands out there. We want to play Kiora. We have a Karn in the deck. Cards like Dungeon Geist are good. It would also be fine to draw something like a Route. Only because I don't know what's in his deck. Things can get out of hand. I'm glad that he doesn't have the Recurring Nightmare, because right now Recurring Nightmare and Deranged Hermit would be outrageous. It would be disgusting. Maelstrom Pulse the Jace, which is fine. Dungeon Geist also makes Thassa active. I guess he doesn't know that the Trigger stays. Even though Jace is dead. Let's get our scry on. We can put that on the bottom. Let's see what else we got. Oh, maybe another plains. See, this is still the same game where he ultimated Sorin. Just tap down a scroll. We're gonna make Sasa unblockable and force him to take 5, and that's the dream on how to close out this game. We have 2 blockers for his squirrels, Mazavith for his mainland. He's on top deck mode. Feels like we got this game under control. But anything can happen, it's Cube. That's the beauty of Cube, you know. You never know what your opponent's going to have in their deck. There's an answer to every question in Cube. Just when you think you're safe. I mean, he ultimated Sorin, and he had the vampire token maker in play. He entreated the angels on turn on the upkeep of turn 4 for 2 angels. We're going to go in for 10 this turn. So that we can win with either Thassa or Dungeon Geist next turn. Does he have any outs? Did he draw an out? Or is the game over? Or is he steaming mad? Is he just yelling at his computer? I mean, he has a right to be upset. It's a game that I would have thought that I would win if I was in his shoes. And he concedes. He starts drawing cards. Let's see what else is in his deck. He wants to show us. Ranger of Eos and a Jet. A Jet wouldn't have been great, though. I could just untap his attacking creature. Mazavith stops Jetes. It stops swords. Trying to figure out what to board in. He's not really aggressive. Like, aggressive in such a way that I would want to board in Apocryphite or Savannah Lion. Trading them for squirrel tokens doesn't seem like the best way to answer what he's doing. Sure, he can, like, pump out token makers, but remove soul or essence scatter, whatever it's called now. It's probably a pretty good way to answer it. Ooh, we've got a turn 3 Brimaz. Seems like a pretty good card against him. That's fine. It blocks our Brimaz every turn, but it was kind of silly to play that land, because if he has Wasteland now, I'm actually kind of screwed. Lucky didn't play that Wasteland. If I played the island and then the Mystic Gate, then I could have played Brimaz for sure. But he didn't have the Wasteland. I still get to play Brimaz on turn 3. He untaps. Plays a top. I don't know what he's searching for. He's searching for a Wasteland, maybe? Before he plays anything. I wonder if he boarded in this Spellskite to counter my Mazavith. Spellskite's good. I wish, like, I would have maybe even played it in my deck. My deck just doesn't have a lot of creatures anyway, which I guess that makes it better. Abducting Shackles is a good one to have against Spellskite, but it's probably better to play it next turn. He missed the land drop, so Dungeon Geist tapping the Elves of the Deep Shadow seems like the play to me at this point. And capitalize on his mana screw. I mean, the other play would have been either Vidalcan Shackles, which I think is just better next turn anyway, or leave mana up for Essence Scatter. And played the green-blue land instead. Oh, he's got the Pernicious Deed. Recently reprinted in Conspiracy as a mythic rare. Pernicious Deed. Sacks to destroy. You pay X and sacrifice it, and destroy all artifacts, enchantments, and creatures with converted mana cost X or less. So he's going to pop it for 4, probably tap the top, draw a card, put the top back on his library, and sack for 4, and killing all my stuff. Might as well attack with the team before that happens. And no reason to play anything else. So that it could just get destroyed by the Pernicious Deed. Still, he would be trading the Elves of the Deep Shadow, the Spellskite, and the Pernicious Deed for my Dungeon Geist and my Brimaz. I'm still coming out ahead here. He's going to top using white. Means that he's probably not playing a Sorin. And he doesn't want to draw a card since he's divining top. Just pop the Deed, so now he's trading 4 for my 2. I just double 2 for 1'd him. Or he 2 for 1'd himself. I'm having trouble deciding if I should play Batterskull or Future Sight. If I play Future Sight, I won't be able to cast anything. I'll just be able to play the Future Sight. And if it's a land, I guess I could play the land. But this way, next turn, I might actually be able to play Future Sight and something. He has the Maelstrom Pulse on the Batterskull. That's a good one. I guess if I played Future Sight, he would have Maelstrom Pulse that, and then I could play Batterskull with backup, maybe? No, not yet. Waited another turn and played Batterskull with backup. So the dream here is to play the Future Sight and then see what happens. We can play a land. We can play the Figure of Destiny, or we could leave up our Essence Scatter. Probably better leave up Essence Scatter. We are telegraphing the fact that we have a counterspell when we have a card that we could play on the top of our library and we don't. Let's see if he believes us. Oh, he has the Rishadan Port for our Maze of Ith and our green-blue land. Bounce land. Revelark. We are going to counterspell that because he has both Spellskite and Elves of the Deep Shadow in his graveyard. So if Revelark dies, he hits both those cards. And Spellskite's actually, I mean, we can deal with it. We have Vidalcan Shackles and stuff, but it's not something we really want to play against. So we draw the hero for turn. On our draw step, he taps our bounce land. We'll still probably play this Thassa. Play our Breeding Pool and our Figure of Destiny. Seems alright. So we have the Thassa Future Sight in play. One permanent that is a blue mana and casting cost, and our Thassa is active again. He must be surprised that we are so consistent at getting devotion for Thassa in Cube against Maelstrom Pulses and Pernicious Deeds. So we can scry with Future Sight, also very good. But we are going to keep Fencer on top of our library. It's a great card. 2 lands. Some future we got Future Sight. We can probably just pump our Figure of Destiny when we go in. I think that's good enough. We could end of turn play Venser. We could counter your spell with Venser. It seems better to just use it instead of going in for another 5 damage when we could have almost complete control of this game. We could pump the Figure twice now. Look at all the things it does. Now that's a list. And we could win next turn. If he plays a spell, we play Venser, bounce a spell back to his hand, then activate Thassa, Venser, or make Thassa, Venser, and Figure of Destiny all unblockable, win the game. So that's not one of the spells that we could bounce, but that's okay. He tapped out. This is his turn, so I guess we just win. So that's match 2. He's right in making me do it, because there's definitely situations where I could make a mistake. I tapped my lands wrong. Sometimes you have to click the mana. And we're going for 11 unblockable damage, and that's it! We did it! Woo! Going to the finals! Cube. So what kind of crazy monstrosity is my opponent going to have this time? That last guy's deck was pretty good. Turn 3 Sorin, up draw step on turn 4, double Angels for Entreat the Angels. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Just went for a glass of water. Pretty parched. Okay, so he went turn 1, green Sol Ring, turn 2, make his green Sol Ring into a green Sol Ring, attack me for 1 with his Sol Ring. I, on the other hand, am going to go turn 3, Ancient Tomb, gain control of your Sol Ring. Or tap your Sol Ring down. Both are good options. And we can even counterspell this. Because if he's shy on land, and we take his Sol Ring from him, or to even tap it down, this game might be over pretty quickly. He's not actually shy on land. Still. Or we could even just bounce it. I think tapping it down is the best we earn. Gain control. No, I tap it down, and we can gain control of maybe a bigger threat later in the game. And this way we deal more damage. We have nothing that we're going to ramp into with double green anyway. Like if we had a Karn in hand, I would have for sure taken that. And then next turn Karn. Start exiling his lands. FTK. Sure. So now we can gain control of this Jorga Tree Speaker, the Sol Ring, or gain control of his FTK. Now, something that's interesting to note, I'm going to zoom in on the cards, I'm sure, because I'm probably going to read the way this works. But Restoration Angel says, exile target creature you control and return that creature to your control. A lot of these spells like that have blink effects return it under the owner's control, but Restoration Angel would return it to the controller's control. So if I gain control of FTK and then I Restoration Angel FTK, it'll come back into play. I can deal 4 damage to the Jorga Tree Speaker, and I'll still have the FTK. FTK is Flame Tongue Kavu, for those of you who don't know. Should have specified that before I went on my spiel. Oh, he's got a lot of ramp, a lot of tri-colored lands. I wonder if the tri-colored lands are going to come back for Khan. I think that it might, and he's not really doing anything. He's just pumping his Jorga's Tree Speaker. Actually, not even sure if I want to kill the Jorga's Tree Speaker at this point, because I don't even really know what it's gonna do. He just chumps the Arbor Elf. That seems okay. And we could just pass the turn. We're in control of this game. We have our Venser, who's kind of a counterspell. And we have a Restoration Angel that can blink an FTK to deal 4 damage. We should just sit on this. It's tempting to play the Brimaz, but we really don't need to. We have a Chain Lightning. Seems like we could just blink our Sword of Temptation. It seems better than blinking FTK to kill his Jorga Tree Speaker and then he gets FTK, or blinking FTK to kill itself. This way we still keep control of the board. Comes back into play and we get our Flametongue Cavu back. We have tons of mana. We definitely don't need Jorga Tree Speaker. Even if we drew Karn, we could just cast it now. What's he gonna cast? What's it gonna be? Rolling Earthquake. Kill everything. Alright. Nothing I could have done about that. That's alright, we've got a Brimaz. Brimaz seems fine. Seems like a good way to recover. And we can play our Figure of Destiny too, why not? I don't know if it was right to play that island. If he has something that makes us discard a single card. Call of the Nerd. We could just bounce that. With Venser. He's got no more cards in his hand, so it lets us get in with both the figure and the 1/1 token. He's at 11. This will deal 3, 4, 5, 6 damage to him. So he's got 1 turn, basically. And then that also means that next turn he'll have to, if all he does is flashback Call of the Herd, he'll have to block Brimaz probably with it. Actually, he'll probably have to block Figure of Destiny. And he will lose the game, unless he has multiple spells. This puts us in a really good position. And the game is over. Woo! We're up a game in the finals of MTGO Cube. Game number 2. All land and a Brimaz. Plays the Raging Ravine. And we've got a Raging Ravine of our own. Ours is just a breeding pool. It's kind of gross. I think that it started as a Raging Ravine, but then it just kind of became a breeding pool. We will pay our life to cast our Exalted Angel. Face down, he doesn't know what it is. It is probably a Skirk Commando. No! My Exalted Angel! No! So we could crack the Flooded Stream. Oh, we could just play this Reflecting Pool and get Kiora out there. And then we'll +1 it, targeting Raging Ravine. So it can't attack and kill Kiora. Is what we will do. Oh, your red counterspell definitely deals with that. Yep. Nice red counterspell. Totally saw that one coming. That was perfect. Yeah, it was great. The Raging Ravine, a creature, and attack me. I can't Wrath of God that next turn. It's going to take me a couple of turns to be able to kill that. I might be dead by then. Tapping Ancient Tomb. Ooh. Oh, we got a Karn, which is pretty good, because now we can cast our Pentad Prism and cast Karn next turn. Provided he doesn't do any funny business. No funny business from you! Whatever your name is. Alright guys, fingers crossed, no funny business. Hopefully he just attacks with Raging Ravine again. Or he does nothing, that would also be good. When they do nothing, it's scary though. Alright. So you're 4/4 Raging Ravine. It's a 5/5, sorry. My bad. Okay, how do we do this? 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I guess we play a land and then remove everything except one counter off that Pentad Prism. And then tap it all down and play Karn, get rid of Raging Ravine. Pass the turn. Alright, seems good. He's at 20, I'm at 5. Let's see if we can pull this one out. Starting to get a little bit of control of what's happening here. Harmonize, okay, alright. Seems okay. I got lost in Raging Ravine reading the text because it dealt a severe beatdown to me. Play the Mystic Gate. Don't really want to crack any fetch lands at this point. Pass the turn, let's see what he's got. At this point, I can just exile pretty much anything as long as it doesn't have hexproof with Karn, so. Oh, great. Excellent. That's okay, because you can't regenerate from a route, so. Can't target it with that. Make him discard another card or exile another card. So we got Mountain, Raging Ravine. Another Mountain. Hey, if we restart the game, I could actually attack with Raging Ravine. Not that turn, but I have green sources in the deck, so. Hopefully it won't come to that. So we use the route at the last possible moment. We use the red at the last possible moment because he might have cast another creature. Pay 1 off the prism. Don't want to take 2 from the Ancient Tomb anymore. Let's see what he got. See what he has. We can exile pretty much anything. We die to any, like, Devil's Play or Burn Spell or anything like that. So only gets him 1 creature. Oh no, gets him 2 creatures. That's okay. We will tap down 1 and exile the other. We're gonna go ahead and exile the one that he could maybe reanimate or copy. The token also, if it's there and we draw a Venser, we can bounce the token and kill it. Bouncing the original is way worse. Okay, still 20. We're at 4. Plays a land. Oh, here's our Venser. Sweet. We can keep making him discard or exile cards from his hand. He's got no more cards in his hand. He had a forest in there. Only use Venser in case of emergency or if we could win the game here. Master of the Wild Hunt, that's fine. We'll just exile it with Karn. The Karn engine keeps on going. Oh, we have a way to start gaining back some life. As long as he doesn't draw an X, like a burn spell, a big burn spell next turn, we can start gaining some life. Definitely want to make sure that we have enough mana up for a Venser. Reflecting Pool, Breeding Pool. So we are going to have to use an Ancient Tomb to use a Venser. There's no way around that, I don't think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we'd still have to use Ancient Tomb. That's okay, you gotta do what you gotta do. Hopefully it doesn't draw anything devastating. Don't know what he's casting. Oh, he drew Green Sun Zenith again. Which is probably one of the better draws in his deck, right? Like, I mean, I guess he'd rather have Burn. I don't know if he has Burn in the deck other than that Chain Lightning. Or she. She might have it as well. Woolly Thoctor, if that's the best choice for creatures. Things are not looking good. So to gain the most amount of life, I could equip put the equipment on the Dungeon Geist, but I don't think that it's worth it. I'm at 8. He can do 4, 5, 6, 7. If he taps out for a burn spell, I can just Venser it. Goes back to his hand, and then that turn I can equip the Batter Skull to the Dungeon Geist and try to gain a bunch of life. But the game's over. And that's it. That's the cube. Thank you all for watching, and take care. Bye, everyone.